Okay, buddy, taking a look at these swings now. This left-hand one was your before, and we'll just showcase now some definite progress in terms of the lesson we did last week with the club getting a lot stronger now at top of the backswing. The tweaks we made at setup, I still think need obviously adjusting to slightly. It still felt quite exaggerated, I suppose, in terms of that movement, and very quite sort of strange, but trying to get into that sort of more tilted position with your right side, that sort of pebble skimming position we discussed in the session. We've got to try to get more into that with the driver, okay? But you can see on this left-hand one now, decent takeaway, top of the backswing, left wrist and arm nice and flat now with that golf club. Goes a little long, so we lose a little bit of structure there, but for the most part, pretty good. It's now the feeling that your back, as we can see, is facing the target, keeping it there for as long as you can. You can see as your club starts coming down now, it's all about the twist, 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 twist. And as a result of that now, the club then gets what we call quite steep. We talked about in the session, getting the arm and the club shaft more in line. So this club now is slightly over the top and steep. As a result of it being over the top and steep, you might get those high pop-up shots where you lose a lot of yardage, reminiscent to the sort of screen on there you can see with that previous ball flight, that high cutty one, or kind of a low smother. But it's all in your attention now to try to hit the ball as far left as you can, knowing that the ball has got potential to have left to right spin because of some of the club faces we just talked about. And then you're just trying to hit the ball as hard. I see the club now coming from outside the line across the ball. I mean, even before impact here now, your hips are probably aiming somewhere over here. The shoulders sort of opened out a lot. And then impact here now, you can see your chest now is kind of facing down towards the screen here as you're making contact. So everything in your swing now is just doing what it can to start the ball left to target. So with the adjustments there we talked about at setup, getting that club stronger, be able to get this sort of pebble skimming kind of position. You can see when you do that, how the club now will kind of match up with your right forearm looking down the line. And that's the feel we're trying to produce. So you get the top of the backswing and then keep the back to target for as long as you can as the club comes back down. Now, this position, we can see the club face has opened up, which indicates to be said that your grip was a little bit weak, because this is how your hands are naturally coming down to the golf ball. At this point, we want to see the club face probably more vertical. So your club face here is a good 20 degrees open. So you can imagine in that sort of space from there into impact, if you've got to try and square that club face up 20 degrees, and as you suggested, rolling the hands over is what you would try to do, that's not going to be an easy move to make. So we want that club to get stronger and maintain its sort of squareness, so you're able to keep that back to target for as long as you feel you possibly can. So good turn on the golf club now on the way back. Top of the backswing here, as we can see, again, losing a little bit of structure still, but we'll discuss that as we go through. As you start back down, the body has to try and stay as quiet as you can as the club comes back down. We can see in this position here now, sort of next frame, club now starting to match up with the right forearm. Because it feels obviously so foreign to you and exaggerated when you come back to goal, but that's just before impact. Shoulders now are just slightly opened up. This is with you trying to keep the bodies quieter. You can see the difference in those two images there. I know one is just before impact, but how much your body now is rotated on the left-hand one. We compare that to the right-hand one now, where your chest isn't sort of as spun out. And this is just going to be a trust issue, knowing that the club face is squarer and the ball's not going to curve off to the right there. In this case, we can see the ball now starting a bit more on line. You fell back a bit with your body because you're not quite sure where that balance point is, okay? But keeping that back to target for as long as you can, get this club working more down the line. If that club face gets stronger and squarer at address with the grip changes and setup changes we talked about, when your club now starts coming down from this angle, we're going to start seeing golf balls going more in this fashion. And again, from a practice perspective going forward now for the next few weeks, Rich, you want to see drivers going over here. And that's going to be the case with that adjustment at setup, getting yourself tilted under the ball more to the right, feeling super strong with the grip. It's going to feel quite strange initially, because if you come over the top and your shoulders are aiming in this direction here, the ball will just go straight there. And once you start seeing that, then it's going to make sense for your body to kind of slow down and get the path working more towards your target. So good setup, just tweak that address position as we said with that sort of right side, feeling a bit more kind of underneath with it at address. Turn your back to target, keep your back to target for as long as you can. Slow those hips down, slow the shoulders down, get the club working back down on a better path, get that ball flying more towards target rather than over the top and spinning so far to the left. So I hope that makes sense, buddy. Any questions, obviously give me a shout and I'll catch you again soon. Cheers, Rich.